What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanning here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game, Online Deck Tech. Today we're taking a look at Arceus Giratina. Now, before you say, oh, Arctina, this deck is bad, you know, it hasn't really got a huge amount of top results. I've seen everything I've had to see with Arctina before. Hold on. This is a different version of Arctina. This is one that a couple of local Canadian players, kind of, you know, around the GTA, put together, and they did really well at one of the tournaments. I'm going to put it up on screen. I don't exactly remember which one it was, but they all made day 2 with this list, and I think one or two of them made top 16 or top 32, if I remember correctly. But basically, this is Arctina Shoes, and you're going to kind of see why this deck works and why it makes a little bit more sense. So we're going to start, obviously you know the drill, with Arctina. You use Trinity Nova, power up a Giratina, and then you hit for big numbers. That's the whole deck's gimmick, pretty much. You know, you have a 4-4 Arceus line in here, a 2-2 line of Giratina. You got the Iron Leaf ZX to deal with that pesky Charizard, 2-2 Bibarel line, as well as a Skwovet to help with your draw, and Radiant Gardevoir is here as well to help us not get one-hit KO'd by Giratina V-Stars, you know, against the Lost Tina matchup, or to help us survive against Lugia V-Star if we have an Arceus V sitting in the active spot, if we happen to go second, whatever. So yeah, that's the Pokemon lineup, pretty simple. What's interesting is the trainers. You've seen a lot of Arctina lists play Airy, play Professor Turo. This deck is no fluff. This deck is get to the point. What's the point? KO anything any single turn. So we play 4 Trekking Shoes to continuously dig through the deck, make it more consistent, and then we play 4 Boss's Orders, and we just want to go through, boss whatever we want to KO every single turn while powering up our big guys, and we want to create a board state where we can just take a bunch of prizes really easily, no matter what our opponent throws up at us, and we can just pick and choose which cards we want to KO every single turn. So that's where the power of this deck comes from. Obviously, we have our 4 Nest Ball and our 4 Ultra Ball, but we also have these 4 Trekking Shoes to help us dig on turn 1, get a little bit more of a consistent setup. Maybe we're missing an Energy or we're missing an Arceus V. We can get one of the two by digging through the deck a lot more. We also have the 4 Iono in here as our supporter of choice, other than the 4 Boss, and we have only 1 Judge because, you know, a Judge is more of a key supporter than it is a a consistency supporter. And what I mean by that is there's often very few times, but very specific times, that you're going to want to play a Judge. For example, if you're playing against Chen Pao and they've had kind of a middling setup, you want to Judge them to 4, then knock out their active Chen Pao with a card like Arceus plus the Maximum Belt to make their return very, very difficult to return KO you or, you know, get set up, because they're going to need a lot off of the 4 cards plus the 1 they'll draw per turn. We also have 1 research in here for a little more consistency, just so if we need to dump our hand, like we're playing, you know, and we go for a Starburst and we're like, we don't really have anything in our hand, let's get a research and a DTE. You put the DTE on and you research and just draw a bunch more cards. Research is in there for that reason as well. We have a switch so we can't get stuck in the active with Bibarel. We have also a Choice Belt, which can help us boss KO Rotoms in the late game. That's pretty much the only reason for Choice Belt. There's some niche uses here and there as well, like if you use an Arceus to charge up another Arceus, then you use Arc V-Star to take a knockout on a Giratina V against Lost Tina. That's what the Choice Belt is here for as well. And we're also playing 2 Lost Vacuum, which is really interesting, but this deck can sometimes struggle with turbo hands if they have a better setup than you do, and they consistently arm press, amp you very much, arm press, amp you very much. That's 4 attacks, and you're really gonna have a hard time, you know, completing that game if they just overwhelm you. So the Lost Vacuum is really going to slow them down and get rid of that heavy baton, so they have to keep setting up new Iron Hands from scratch. Other than that, our energy count is standard with 4 double turbo, 6 Grass Energy, 3 Psychic Energy, and a Jet Energy for some additional pivoting options if we start with an Arc V on the bench. That is the list. It's really, really simple, really, really effective, and I'm going to show you, I'll have the link in the description to the original list with all the players as well that did well with it. But we're just going to hop into some games. Just gonna get some dubs with Arctina. Have a little chill day today.
Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanning channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. You can track your entire collection and see its value, build decks quickly and easily, create custom wish lists, and so much more. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get $5 off a pro membership. These are some great products for some great prices. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video.
We get to call coin flip for this match, and it's going to be a tails never fails angle. We're going to choose to go first, and that will hopefully let us get a good little setup going here. That's the great thing about the shoes, is we can dig and find our missing piece here. So this is going to be our starting hand, which is looking pretty promising. We have the Ultra Ball to get us the double turbo, or what am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. We have the Ultra Ball to get us our Arc V, and then attach that double turbo when we pass it on over, and we should be chillin'. So it's just more of a dependent on what our opponent is playing here. The research might be the best angle to go for, but we'll see. There's a Radiant Greninja, so this could be Lost Zone, or it could be something like a Chen Pao. We can Ultra Ball here, and I kind of want to keep the boss, and I kind of want to keep the Judge. Maybe I keep the research. This is when it's tough about like your first hand, right? We'll get rid of Judge. We'll get rid of boss, I think. Just go for a research focus on our setup. Got the Arc. Now we should hopefully have a Jet Energy in here. We have the Switch. We have the Jet. We have the Max Belt if it is Chen Pao. We got Quad Iono, which is really good if it's anything Lost Zone. So we just go ahead, attach here, and it'll be a nice little pass. So next turn, we're just going to research this hand away. That's the thing, is I don't want to risk going for a Judge play, even though it's detrimental to our opponent, when then all they need to do is go ahead and just get it set up better than us, and then we're kind of screwed. So this is fine. This is really a good setup. We can't really complain about that. We can set up our Bidoofs and our Bibarels later on. Here's a Bidoof, which makes me think this is Chen Pao. Here's a Heavy Ball, which is going to get their Frigibacks. See, you know, it's times like this where you don't really know, like, if they're just going to get one Frigibacks in play. Then we would have been awesome to keep that boss, but we don't have a follow-up in our hand for the Arc V-Star. So, yeah, this is a confirmed Chen Pao list. Here's an Ultra Ball for another Frigibacks, and they're going to go ahead, put that on the bench over here. Curious what their hand is going to be like, those two cards, and now we'll just have to pass. Here comes the Tina. The Tina is going to be good for later on. So, good thing we kept the research, we focused on us, and we're just going to go ahead and draw a bunch of cards here. We do get the Arc V-Star, which is really, really good. The Iron Leaves, I'm not sure if we're going to want to play, but I know we're going to want to get rid of this Arc V-Star here. So we'll get rid of the Arc V, get rid of the Iono. Arc V-Star can come down, and we do have the Switch in the deck, so we will be A-okay on that front. Now the only thing is, what do I want to get here? I think I definitely want to go ahead, grab a Bidoof. I think a Switch Bidoof is fine, or Nest Ball, I should say, for the Bidoof, because I just want to thin. We'll get a bunch of these energies out. Iron Leaves will be really good in the future if we need to find it, to pull off like a surprise attack with very scattered energy, but I think the Bidoof is fine right here. Getting rid of the Radiant Greninja is really, really good. We can go for the Switch, and boom. Trinity Nova. I wouldn't even want to get rid of a Frigibax here. I'd rather get rid of the Radiant Greninja. But I do think they have a, what's it called? A Bibarel in hand, because the way they played that hand down, they probably do have a Bibarel. So we will just take that prize card. Arc V-Star, they're kind of useless at a certain point, but they're going to lead that Frigibax, of course. And here comes the Bidoof, would be my guess, or the Bibarel. I did figure that they have it. Now, they have the Chen Pao, and it's going to be a Bibarel angle here. They're going to need Rare Candy backs, but they have a Cypher Maniac, so Cypher Maniac can get them Rare Candy backs, which is really, really strong. But they don't have Radiant Greninja in play any longer, so they're not going to be able to draw the extra cards with concealed cards. They've also gotten rid of a Super Rod and an Iron Hands. So here is going to be, I think, another setup turn from our opponent. They're going to try and get the backs Caliber in play. Just Industrious Incisors get a nice 5 cards, probably Rare Candy backs, and like they're hoping for an energy so they can go into Chen Pao. Then in that case, we'll Iono them. There's the Rare Candy backs, and it's going to go ahead and go right on the bench. And here's a Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher's interesting. They're going to get Bidoof up here, go into the Chen Pao. Okay, so they can KO the Bidoof, which I'm not a huge fan of. I would really like to get a Boss's Orders right here, because if I get the Boss's Orders, I can take out that Bibarel and effectively shut them out of doing anything this game. Again, they're only taking 1 prize, so I'm kind of happy with that. They're going to Hail Blade, take out this Bidoof, take a single prize. And yeah, the issue here is, I don't know why they got rid of 2 energy. They only needed to get rid of 1, but I digress. They're going to get 1 prize. The only thing about Ionoing here is their hand is very low. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. Alternatively, I can leave with the Tina V and hopefully just find a Tina V-Star and one-shot that way. A little more likely to find a Tina V-Star. We'd have played 2 Ultra Balls. So, yeah, maybe that's still the correct play. Go up with the Tina V-STAR. I'm still liking that. We get another Iono here, but we'll attach, and we just have to play the Iono. Keep up in the prize trade. Again, we have this Arceus V-STAR, which we'll be able to hit and charge up later on. We do get the max belt anyway, but here, thinking probably the best thing to do is just Ultra Ball. And do we want to keep this double turbo? Nah, we can get rid of the double turbo for sure. So we'll Ultra Ball, get rid of Arc, get rid of the double turbo, get ourselves the Tina V-STAR. Then our other card that we're going to want to grab, we can use the Nest Ball. We can get Bidoof here. We don't have Bibarel though, which is the disaster. So we're going to be trying to luck out, finding the other Bibarel off the prizes. I think we didn't discard it. Oh, we did discard it. This is tough. We have 4 shoes left though. We have a good amount of dig still to find that Bibarel. So maybe we do want a Nest Ball here. We could alternatively save it for another Pokemon that we're gonna want to KO later on. So maybe we do save the Nest Ball. Yeah, well, Lost Impact again. The double turbo is gonna be really good because we can Lost Zone it. Then, if they KO our Giratina over here, we can leave the Arc V-STAR, go for the Maximum Belt, and then boom, they are going to be in a worse position. So we get another Nest Ball, and we get Boss. And Boss I'm really happy to have because it will be able to allow us to target down Baxcaliburs and such. Basically, all the angle is here now is I'm not expecting us to get disrupted. I'm expecting them to want to set up. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to try really hard to get that Chen Pao in play. Chen Pao is going to come through, knock out our Giratina. But what they don't know is this double Nest Ball is going to allow us to get a target to charge up another, attacker. Then it's going to allow us to get a Bidoof. And what that can do is hopefully we can set up a scenario where we charge up another attacker and then we just need to dig for Boss for the win. That's all considering that they will KO this Giratina V-STAR here. Yeah. Another thing that could be good if we were able to find the Iron Leaves, we can play down the Iron Leaves, move the energy to it, then KO the Frigibacks. But here's the Nest Ball, so I'm expecting that other Chen Pao to come through. Again, I know they're really going to push to KO this Giratina V-STAR here. It doesn't really surprise me. The thing is, they already played the Prime Catcher, so they can play Counter Catcher if they want to KO this Arceus V-STAR. But then that is, I think, where things get a little bit tough. But we can still Nest Ball, we can still try and find our... we can still try and find our, what am I thinking of? Arceus plus double turbo to kind of close things off here. But they're going to put the 5 energy. Their last card would need to be Counter Catcher, but no, it's just a Hailblade. So they're playing right into our strategy again. They've been kind of getting mediocre Pokestop draws. They played the Prime Catcher already. Giratina's gone, which is exactly what I planned. Then we have the perfect follow-up, quite literally. We can KO this Chen Pao, and then we're literally just the boss's orders away from a victory here. And we get the Iono as well. So we'll Nest Ball will grab us the Arc, and then we can grab the Bidoof as well. And we have the energy to power it up here. So this is really, really good. You have the Bidoof. You can go down. Max Belt, charge up the Arc, and then that should be all she wrote. Now I'm debating... Yeah, no, this has to be the play. I don't want to Iono them. I'd rather just keep the boss, because then we just have it guaranteed in hand. So we'll tune in over here. We'll get rid of this Chen Pao, and then just do 1, 2, 3, in case we need to go ahead for whatever reason, like if they try and stall us, in case we need to go for an Iron Leaves play, and like bring up an Iron Leaves boss KO, if we don't have a switching out for whatever reason. We have a Vacuum and a Tina, none of those really matter. This is literally going to be like, they're going to need to Iono us here if they want to win, pretty much. They need to Iono us if they want to win here. But the key is, a lot of Chen Pao decks no longer play Iono. They're usually rocking the 4 Irida, 2 Cypher Maniac, and 1 Silene, if any, just so they can reuse that Prime Catcher, reuse those Baxcaliburs, reuse those rare candies, very important, and those superior energy retrievals, all very important aspects. Now they're going for a Super Rod plus an Irida play here. Personally, I think the Pokestop would have been better first, because you're thinning out 1 Pokemon only, and then you're putting 3 Pokemon back, thinning 1 out with Irida. They're going to get the Ultra Ball, which will let them get the Bibarel, sure, but I think a Pokestop might have been a little bit better here. And they've played the Irida, so that basically just means they cannot win the game here. Again, we have fully charged up this Arceus, power just for 130, will KO Bibarel, will KO Bidoof, and that's what I mean. They went for the Pokestop, they just got rid of the Bibarel they put back. So Pokestop first, I think, is always better in that scenario if you're planning to go for a recovery play. Now, they're a lot more limited to the cards they can use, and here comes the SER, which will get them 4 energy, and that can allow them to attach to the Frigibacks, be able to retreat into this Chen Pao, and then they can go for the Shivery Chill, and that will let them knock out this Arceus V-Star, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Here's the Industrious Incisors, which will be even better for them, but I think they just got to realize that we've been packing it up, and they're good to go home. You know, go into the Chen Pao, knock out whatever you like. Shivery Chill will KO this Arceus V, but we have the boss to be able to deal with their treachery, as I should say. So here comes the Super Cold, and the Super Cold will put the energies on the Chen Pao, and boom, it's a Hellblade. Surprise, surprise. And they're basically thinking, oh yeah, you know, they gotta get the KO on this Chen Pao or have boss or lose. And the funny thing about this game has been we haven't even used the Trekking Shoes. But imagine we got Iono'd here. Imagine that what happened was they Iono'd us and we just fell. We just completely fell and we bricked because we didn't have the Bibarel in play. We could just use the Trekking Shoes and go boom, 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 cycle through the deck, and then find the boss that we need for victory. Maybe we'll top deck the boss or the Trekking Shoes as well, and we can actually play them and see how far we'll go. I'm curious. I'm gonna do a little bit of an exercise so you can actually see we can use their Pokestop against them to pull through here and get the dub. So we'll leave with the Arc V. We have the boss in hand, we have game in hand, whatever, but I want to show these Trekking Shoes off. Double Turbo is fine. Let's go for a Pokestop here. Pokestop will get us probably a couple shoes. Actually, got us nothing. Got rid of our boss, but that's okay. We'll just boss up, get the Bidoof, and Power Edge. See you later, my friend. Goodbye, Bidoof. And that is going to be the KO. I wanted to show the Trekking Shoes, but I didn't get a chance to. But that's okay. We'll get the final prize of the game, which is an Arc V-Star. Take the dub against Chen Pao. Probably this deck's worst matchup. I think Chen Pao and Lugia are the 2 worst ones. The rest of your match into the field is pretty good. We get to call this coin flip over here. Tails never fails is what I always say. We're going to flip that coin. It's going to be heads, so our opponent will choose if they want to go first or second. Obviously, as an Arc deck, you want to be going first. Just get the Arceus attach pass, and you're pretty much good to go against any matchup. Though second is going to let us get set up a little bit easier. So honestly, it's not too bad. They're going to go first. We'll see what we're up against here. But as I said, going second can be really, really clutch sometimes. This is a pretty bad start, but look at what we got in our hand. We got the Trekking Shoes. So the Trekking Shoes will allow us hopefully to come back from this. We'll see what our opponent is playing. There's a Pidgey here, and the Pidgey likely means that we're playing against a Charizard. And guess what's in our active spot? The Iron Leaves. So this is going to be a little bit of an issue here. We're probably going to want to fill our bench if that's possible, and then go ahead and grab ourselves a... what's it called? Go ahead and grab ourselves a full bench, make them collapsed so we can get rid of this Iron Leaves. This is going to be a pretty big liability in the late game, and we're really going to struggle because we're going to need to go for Arceus to KO Rotom. Oh, this is not Charizard. This is Trio. Okay. I'm suddenly a lot less worried now, though this Arc Leaves is going to be a bit of a liability. We get the Iono off the top, and I'm thinking here... I don't know exactly what we're playing. We don't play a Super Rod, but I think I can get rid of an Arc V-Star pretty safely, as well as a Tina. I don't think we're going to be using those. Get the Arc V. We have pretty much everything we need here. The Iono will save us a little bit of trouble, but now you'll see kind of the power of the Trekking Shoes. We can just kind of turbo through our deck a lot quicker. Go for the Trekking Shoes here. We'll get another Trekking Shoes. We get to see 2 more cards. Other Trekking Shoes will get us a Psychic Energy. We'll take that because we just needed the attachment, and we'll go for the Iono here. So it looks like we are playing against some sort of control style deck, so we just want to set up one Arceus and just swing, swing, swing over and over. Now this is a bad hand, so we'll pass. But if we can get an Ultra Ball off the top, we can attach the Double Turbo, and then we can go ahead and we can put the Arc V-Star into our active spot and just start swinging. There's the Wug Trio, so they're going to start milling us, and this is going to be, it'll be a bit of a challenge. The good thing though is that because we played the Iono, we have one Arceus at the bottom of the deck, and that is going to allow us to, at the very least, conserve an Arceus V-Star. Here they're going for an Iono play on us though, and that is going to net us another Arc V-Star, so I can't be too mad about that. We're literally going to put the Arc V-Star down, and then we will Trinity, we'll Starbirth, grab whatever we need, and we'll just send this Arc up and start swinging. That's basically how the matchup's going to go. If they put a Pidgeot EX into play this game, we're going to want to go ahead and grab ourselves the Giratina, just so we can easily deal with it, but they're going to go ahead and pass, and then we have the boss's orders for later on. We also have an Iono, so I want to start here, and I just want to go for the Star Birth. Star Birth will grab us anything we need, and we need a double turbo and the switch. There's the switch, there's a double turbo. Now we can bring that into the active, and we're literally just going to target down, I think, the Wug Trio. I'm not too upset about that. We can target down anything. Could also target down this unidentified fossil, because that's going to evolve into an Archeops, I believe, at some point. But I think the boss's orders on the Wug Trio, that's the immediate threat here. We'll just get rid of it. Trinity Nova. I don't know if they're playing any Crushing Hammers or anything like that, but I think I'll just get 2 Grass Energy and I'll put them onto the Arc in case they're playing something like a Crushing Hammer, so we can kind of get rid of these... we can get rid of some of these energies and still be able to attack turn after turn. We're playing the Trinity Nova, so why would we not just put some energies into play? And then at some point, as long as we can get a Skwovet down, we'll be completely fine to just continue to get the, to stop us from decking out. So we'll just get Skwovet into play at some point and we'll be okay, hoping that they don't just KO us here, or sorry, mill the Skwovet. What am I talking about? They have, you know, a pretty solid setup. They're going to Iono us, which again is good because hopefully they can draw us into the Skwovet, and then they won't be able to really do anything. They get us the Nest Ball, which is going to be really, really clutch in getting the Skwovet down. And here, there's just going to be a Undersea Tunnel. We'll see how many heads they flip, and that will determine what happens. There's 1 heads and 2 heads, so 6 cards getting discarded. Hopefully no Skwovet. Thankfully no Skwovet. All a bunch of cards that could have been bad, but thankfully we're not. And now here, this is very simple. The rest of this game is really simple. We put the Skwovet on the bench, and we just swing with Trinity Nova. I don't want to attach an energy because I don't want to overcommit, attach the energy, and then what's going to happen is we're going to have something stuck in the active with no energy in our hand. Something I might be a little concerned about is if they play like an Erica's Invitation and they bring up one of these Arceus. So I will Ultra Ball them away just to account for all the angles here. Like I said, I don't want to, like, it's pretty risky, you know? They're just going to go right for an Undersea Tunnel, and it's going to flip 1 heads, 2 heads. Okay, that's it. Thankfully, 2 heads only. And they're going to get rid of a bunch of energy and Pokemon, which is completely fine. I don't really have a concern. Now from here, like I said, I do want to ditch these Arc Vs, and it'll just fail that. Boom. Trinity Nova. One more time. Get out of here, Wug Trio. And now they got to consistently loop these cards. They got to consistently get the Wug Trio plus Undersea Tunnel combo with the reversal energy. But the more we KO, the less options we have. We also have an Ionos that we can use later on to be able to reset our hand to the bottom. They're going all in on the Wiglett though. And there's the reversal. Do they have the other Wug Trio in their hand? They're going for a Roxanne. See, in a deck like this, Roxanne's really interesting because I'm not sure why they'd want to play that. Here's the Pidgeot. So the Pidgeot can get them either the Counter Catcher, or it can get them the Wug Trio, but they might need to rod back some Wug Trios. They do have their last one. You know, we have 3 in the discard pile, and they do have the Counter Catcher, but thankfully we have the Jet Energy, so we don't really got to worry. And here comes Undersea Tunnel. They're going to enable a 1 heads, 2 heads. Still, getting 6 cards discarded per turn is a bit nasty, and that is going to be 2 Ionos to the bottom, which I'm not a huge fan of. We do get Trekking Shoes, though, to dig eventually. And now they don't have any other Wiglett in play, so we'll just bring the Arc into the active spot. And I think we can start nest stashing here just to get rid of some cards. I want to find an energy if we can. If we still have one. Iono here is good for later. We'll just Trinity Nova. Probably don't have that many energy left in deck, which is a little concerning. We have 3. No need to put them on this Arceus. I don't think they're playing Crushing Hammers or anything like that. So we'll just take the prize card. And there's a Bidoof. That's fine. All 1 retreat, guys. We don't really need to put anything huge in play. We can hit this Pidgeot EX, or we can kind of just aim to Nest Stash into a boss. Right now, we've only played 1 boss. There's a lot of boss in this deck still. We have only 2 prizes remaining, so we just need to go boss, and we win the game. And that will be fine. There's a Super Rod, though, and Super Rod will net them their Wiglets back onto the field. And the Wiglett, you know, can evolve to the Wug Trio and all that stuff. But they're going to get Wig, and Wug, and they're all going to go back in the deck with an Irida to pull them out. Now, the thing is, though, is if we just hit this Pidgeot, we got to find a single boss's orders and we win the game. We don't necessarily want to Iono them and give them more than they need. Here's the Ultra Ball, and the Ultra Ball is probably, getting rid of 2 rare candies is real interesting. For another Wiglett, because they're down 3 reversals here. So what's their plan? You can't, I know they're gonna, that's for an Archeops, I know that's what it's for, but if they can't attack here, we just should win the game. They're gonna retreat into the unidentified fossil, which I don't know if we take prizes for that or not. I don't remember. Well, let's find out. We will, we'll go for a Nest Dash first. Iono to the bottom, just so it doesn't immediately get knocked out. We get a Choice Belt, that's fine. We'll Trinity Nova here. Do we take a prize card for this? I don't think we do. I don't remember. Do this. Again, I haven't played against fossils in so long. We do take a prize. Okay. We do take a prize for that. So I would have left the Pidgeot, but then again, that's only going to buy them 1 turn. There's the Wiglett. Now they need to find exactly what, can help them out. I expect we'll probably get hit with an Iono here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They just want to stall for a turn. Probably trying to find a counter catcher or something like that, but we should have an energy at some point, as long as they don't discard them all. There's the reversal. Now they need to find the Wugtrio as well, but if they just have the quick search for it and no counter catcher, we just win the game. So yeah, if you want to know how to play against stall decks, mill decks, the like, this is how you do it. You sit a single Arc in the active. We have 2 liabilities on the bench, but because we have so many energy that we play, we didn't thin a lot of them out. They're just going to scoop it up. Yeah, I mean, cool idea for a deck, but Arctina with the shoes, it's just goated. Just goated. Goated deck. So what do you think of this Arctina shoes list? This is really fun. This is the Arctina list I have built currently. It is, I think, the one of the best ways if you want to play Arctina. Try this one out. You very much so might be surprised. This is like the prime version, so you just don't brick. The only cards that I could want in here is a 3-3 line of Bibarel. I think a 3-3 line is really good. Again, just boosting that consistency to the max and ensuring you find what you need. Sometimes you miss cards like Super Rod, you miss cards like Counter Catcher, but in reality, when you're getting set up and you're going first, in an ideal world, which is what this kind of deck aims for, is to be in an ideal world, you're gonna find whatever you need because of those Trekking Shoes. You can just get an insane amount of dig once you get set up. Sometimes the deck is still Arctina, sometimes it does brick, sometimes it has a little bit of a problem with fully getting set up and fully allowing itself to breathe. But again, this is a really fun deck. I think it's really good right now. Arctina is really slept on, and I think you can actually make some waves with it. You can win games, you can win tournaments with Arctina. So with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below, what do you think of this Arctina shoes list? What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? And what would you change? And subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel because I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. And with all that said and done, once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanting out.